Yes, I am wearing a zip-up hoodie. Yes, it is zipped all the way up. And yes, it is because I did not feel like putting a fucking bra on. Hey beauties, it's Court. Welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be comparing the new Covergirl True Naked Nudes palette to the UrbanDecay Naked palette. I'm not going to lie, this is the one that I was the most excited for because this UrbanDecay palette, this is my jam right here. This is my ride or die. I love this palette. I don't know how the hell I haven't hit pan on a lot of these shades in here. These two palettes are going to try and kick each other's asses today in this video. I am not going to tell you which palette is on which eye until the end of the video. That way you can form your own unbiased opinion as to which shadows that you think perform better. After I give you a second to pause and go down in the comments and put your guesses, I am going to give you a little review and my thoughts, but if you're not interested, you can just peace out. It's okay. My feelings won't be hurt. So here's a shot of both of the palettes next to each other. You can see they do have a lot of very similar shades in them. The UrbanDecay Naked palette has always been one of my favorites. So essentially what I'm going to do is try and create the same exact look on both eyes using whichever is supposed to be the dupe in either of the palettes. So like if I use, say, this one right here in my crease, then I'm going to use that one right beneath it in my crease on the other eye. I'm going to basically try and recreate the same look exactly on each eye, and I'm pretty sure I just said that. I am so redundant. So without any further rambling or any more ado, what the hell does ado mean? If you would like to see these two palettes... Wow, brain fart. What is the word I'm looking for right now? Compete? Compared to each other. You already know the deal. Keep your cute little ass right where it's at. Okay, so jumping into it, we're going to use the NYX eyeshadow bases, same as we have been using in every video in 03 and 01. And just like I said in the other videos, I like to use 03 to kind of color correct since it's more of like a sort of orangey skin tone, and then 01 is just a nice bright white to make your shadows pop. My God. So now what we're going to go ahead and do is the same exact thing we did in the other two videos. If you have not seen them, I also compared the roses to the Naked 3 and the goldens to the Naked 2. If you're interested in either of those, they will be linked in the description. So now I'm going to go ahead and set my base with the first lightest matte shade in the palette. I'm not used to doing my eyebrows before my eyeshadow, so I'm used to being able to like do whatever I want up top and not having to worry about it. So if my eyebrows get all jacked up, that's why. Now taking the lightest kind of satin type shade, I'm going to highlight my brow bone in my inner corner. I'm not crazy about the highlight in this palette. Also, I used a new foundation today, and it's actually a Chanel foundation, and apparently to work with the Chanel foundation, you already have to have perfect skin for it to look good, because this motherfucker is curling up into every goddamn line I have on my face right now. Now going into the second lightest matte shade in the palette, I'm going to lay down that transition. I really like this shade. Now we are going to do the third lightest shimmer shade, and I'm gonna, well, it's kind of like a satin, and I'm gonna put that all over my eyeball lid. This is a really pretty color. I wish it had a little bit more, not shimmer, but just more kapow! You know what I mean? Now I'm gonna go into the second lightest satin shade and pop that on like the center of my lid to kind of brighten it up a little bit. I think I'm just gonna use my finger for that. This shade is really pretty. I wish I would have used this all over the lid. We're just gonna put it right there, wipe it off, and then just dab it in. This is kind of like a little eye highlight. Oh, that does not look good at all. Do you see that? That looks like shit. Ew. All right, we're gonna go back over that with the first shade and just get rid of that whole idea altogether. God, my eyeballs look so crepey today, like underneath and on top. This was not a good day to film a close-up video, but you know what? In real life, you can't look perfect every fucking day, so why would I on my YouTube channel? We're just gonna put a dark matte shade in the crease. Oh, I like this shade. We're gonna pull this down onto, We're gonna pull it down. We're gonna pull this down onto this part right here too. This part. It's a very technical term, this part. Actually, I think I want that to be deeper, so we're just gonna work on the crease right now and then go back in with another deeper shade for the outer V. I'm gonna add a little bit more color into the crease and then blend it out. Just on the outer part. Smoky. This is becoming quite the smoky look here, isn't it? I kind of like it. I am going to go back in though with one of the lightest, actually the one that we used to set my eyeshadow base, and I'm going to blend it where the transition's at. Okay, that's a little better. I'm going to just blend out the crease a little bit more. It doesn't really need it too much, but just for good measure. Now going in with one of the deeper shades. This is a satin shade in the palette. I'm going to put this on this part. I kind of like how subtle these apply. Now I'm going to blend that a little bit. I'm going to apply a little bit more color on the lid, the same shade. And there we have it. The first eye is done. Just something very simple, but to show you how the lighter shades and the deeper shades perform is pretty much the only point of this video. So I think it turned out pretty good. I'm going to bring you in a little bit closer so you can see how they performed. So now what I'm going to do is the same exact thing with the other palette. So we shall see how they compete against each other. There isn't a good shade in here for setting my eyeshadow primer. But I guess we will just roll with it and use this satin one because it is pretty much the lightest one in here. Oh, this is going to be fun, keeping this fucking thing out of my face. Also not as what's the word? Shimmery. Also not as shimmery on my eye as I thought it would be, which is kind of disappointing because if it was what it looked like in the pan, it would be beautiful all over the lid, but it's a lot more matte than I thought it would be. We're just going to take that same shade and kind of build it up a little bit more on my brow bone and my inner corner and just use that for the highlight shade. I kind of like this highlight shade. This is actually the first lightest matte shade, and we're going to go ahead and use it for our transition. Yeah, that's a good transition shade. I like that. I am having to build quite a bit though to get the effect that I want. I think I'm going to use the third lightest. It's like a satin shimmer. We'll see what happens when we put it on the eye. Okay, so what happens is absolutely nothing. Awesome. So both of the lid shades are exactly the same in both of the palettes. They both suck. I know that looked like it went on a lot easier, but that was hella eyeshadow on my brush just then. Like, that was a lot to get it to this point, and I still want it to be bolder. Definitely better than the lid shade on this side, but I'm still not insanely impressed with it. Now we're going to go into one of the deeper matte shades and put that in the creasy crease. So we just did the exact same thing that we did on the other side, put it in the crease, and then made it just a little bit deeper on the outer portion out here, and now we're just gonna blend that shit. I'm going to go in with a more fluffy brush and blend it out a little bit more. Now going in with one of the deeper shades on this part. Womp womp. Not insanely impressed with this shade at all, but we're gonna blend it out. Now, just like with the other side, we're going to go back in with the lid shade again and make it pop a little more. Just for good measure, we're going to go in with a clean brush and just do a little blending. So that's going to do it for the other eye. Let's see, this eye, it's kind of looking a little crazy right here. Doesn't really look like that in person though. It's looking kind of weird in my viewfinder. Let me see. Yeah, it looks pretty much, this eye came out a little bit deeper than this one did, but I'm not going to fix it like I did in the last video. I'm going to bring it in a little bit closer so I can let you see how the palette on this side performed. So what do you guys think? Take a second right now, pause the video, go down in the comments, give me your guesses, and then come back and we'll see how you did. Ready, set, pause. So you ready for the big reveal? Oh wait, they're in the wrong hand. Boom! Covergirl is on my right eye and UrbanDecay is on my left eye. Now, if you would like to see a little review and my thoughts on how both of these performed, then stick around. If not, I love you so damn much and I will see you in my next video. So this is the one that I was most excited about, as I had said, because the original Naked has always been my favorite Naked palette. I don't know what it is. I don't know if the formula is different. This one has just always performed better than all the other ones for me. So when I saw that they came out with a drugstore dupe for it, I was really, really hoping that this one would be just as amazing. I'm slightly disappointed. This one is not a bad palette. Now, I'm going to tell you why I like the UrbanDecay one better, but keep in mind that just because this one may have some better qualities to it, doesn't mean that this is a bad palette. So with the UrbanDecay, you do get a larger shade range. There are only 3 more shades in here than there are in the Nudes palette. Is that what this is? Yeah, I always get them confused. But I really feel like that the shades that are in this palette that are missing for this one are kind of like crucial shades that you could use to make like completely new looks, if that makes any sense. This palette though does have enough shades in it to create at least 2 or 3 complete eye looks. It has enough lid shades, crease shades, deep shades, and light shades to get you through at least 2 or 3 eye looks. But with this one, it's pretty much endless, the looks that you can do. I do like the texture of the ones in the Covergirl palette a little bit better. They're just a lot softer, but as I showed you with the other ones, when you swatch them, you can see in this matte shade right here how they kind of do that. They are powdery, but in a very soft and buttery way. Whereas with the UrbanDecay ones, they're a little bit, they just feel a little bit more hard pressed in the pan, but they do still have, you can see I swatched Buck right here and there's no type of kick up or anything like that. So they are more hard pressed, but they're easier to blend and they have very good payoff. These do as well though. They are very pigmented and they have great payoff. So even though they do have a lot of very good qualities in common, I just find the UrbanDecay Naked to be easier to work with. Since there is the 3 extra shades in here, it's when you look at it, I feel more inspired than when I look at the Covergirl one, and I just feel like there's so much more that I can do with it. I do feel like they blend a little bit better than the, well actually these blend a lot better than the one in this palette. I got some choppiness on the inside part of my eye right here, and then there was like this big dark blob that I kind of got. I don't know where it came from or how it ended up there. I tried to blend it out a little bit, but in certain lights you can still kind of catch it like right here-ish. I don't know how it happened, but I'm a little bit disappointed in how this one performed, but it's only because I'm comparing it to a $50 palette. Although, if you have been gunning for the Naked palette, if it's been on your wish list, I would definitely recommend saving up to get the Naked, because this one is nice. And if you like more subtle looks, or maybe you're a beginner, or maybe you don't wear eyeshadow that often, but you like to put a little on every now and then, this would be the perfect palette for you, because it's not hard to work with, but it's not as much fun in my opinion. This one is just a lot more fun to work with. So guys, that's just my little 2 cents on the new Covergirl Nudes palette compared to the UrbanDecay original Naked palette. If you haven't subscribed or checked out the other 2 videos where I compare the other Covergirl palettes to their corresponding Naked palettes, please check them out. They will be linked in the description. Otherwise, I love you so damn much, and I will see you in my next video. Mwah.